Turpin, and part of my history project on the Domus Aurea, that's a Latin word, and the translation to English is the House of Gold, or the Golden House. And it was this big palace that was built for Emperor Nero of Rome in 64 AD, and this is a video clip that I want to walk you guys through, just to show how and why the Domus Aurea was built. So in 64 AD, there was a really big fire that burnt down almost like the entire city of Rome. It was so huge, and it was rumored that Nero himself started the fire, and he was so happy that he was starting this fire and he was burning down everything, so he had an excuse to build a big palace. He was so happy that it was rumored he started it, and he played the fiddle because he was so happy as Rome was burning down. So he burnt down his own house and almost the entire city of Rome so he could build this magnificent palace that he called the Domus Aurea. His dream of the palace and what it would look like was this. This was a big part of the palace. It was the more public part. So here you can see is a big lake, a man-made lake with a boat, and then over here you would walk in here, and it's a public entrance going this way, and then this is a statue of Nero. So you would be like, oh yay, Nero, hi, and then walk over here, and this is a big public area where everybody could hang out at the lake, play in the lake, do whatever you wanted to do. And then there was another part of his palace, which was this. This was a wing. So the lake is over here with the boat and everything, and so it's toward the back left of the more public part where the lake is. So this is a wing off of the palace that he built, or that two architects built, and this little area right here was where, it was like a courtyard kind of. So where you could just hang out, and there was magnificent fountains and statues and just all this magnificent stuff, and there was gold and jewels, and he was all about the riches and glory and everything. But this part was basically like a big nightclub. It was to throw parties. There were no sleeping quarters, no kitchens, no bathrooms. It was just to throw parties that he would have. So over here there's gardens, and this was just his party place. And if this video doesn't show it, but there's a dome type thing over here that had a rotating ceiling, and you could look up through it and see the stars at night. So if you got tired of the party, I guess, you could just go over to the dome and look at the stars at night. So that's his wing off of it. This is his big statue that if you walk towards it, you would see, like I talked about before. And it was made of complete bronze, and it was around 37-ish meters tall. And to put it in perspective, this thing was massive. The entire palace was massive. And compared to this statue, you're about maybe a tip, maybe a tiny little point of one of those giant things coming off of his crown. And the reason he has this crown is because he thought of himself as the sun god. Oh, I'm Nero, I'm so magnificent and glorious, I'm the sun god. That is the crown that the sun god would wear. So you're about this big compared to that statue. And it was completely made of bronze. So this is his big palace. And this, right here, is the Colosseum that they built. Nero was so hated that he was going to be executed. So instead of being executed, he just decided, I'm going to commit suicide. So he committed suicide, and then they built the Colosseum. If he didn't die, and he didn't commit suicide, obviously, construction for the Domus Aurea would have just gone on and on and on, and they would have made it bigger and grander and amazing. They just would have kept on building, so it could be even bigger and more magnificent. So, but since they hated him so much, they didn't want any representation of him at all. all that that would come to Rome could see. So they built this Colosseum, and they just built over top of everything. And that's just what they did. They built over top of it because they wanted no representation of him. So, after they built the Colosseum, this is a video where this is his Domus Aurea, and this is when they first built the Colosseum and what it would look like. And then here is if you went to Rome and you visited Rome, there's a Colosseum, that's what it would look like today. And these are the layers. So what it would look like today if you went to Rome when they first built the Colosseum, and then under all of that is his Domus Aurea and how it would look like. So that's my presentation for the Domus Aurea, and I hope it was really informative and you learned a lot about Nero and how he was just a pretty actually bad emperor for Rome. So I hope that was informative, and thanks for watching.